Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Stempfli, I'd like to continue on, follow up on some questions that Mr. Meehan had brought up earlier. Secretary Sebelius admitted that convicted felons could be hired as exchange navigators because there was no background checks system in place for these individuals. Why aren't we conducting background checks?
Respectfully, sir, my area of expertise is cyber security, physical security, and personnel security are outside of that area. I'm happy to take the question, but I could only speculate, and that seems inappropriate. Well,
okay. With your expertise in cyber security, do you think it would be a good idea to do background checks on these navigators?
So I believe one of the things that we certainly focus on is assuring the protection against threats.
I'm just asking, do you think it would be a good idea to do background checks on the navigators?
I'm happy. Again, sir, I would be speculating.
No, do you think it would be a good idea? That's all I'm asking. It's real simple. Do you think it would be a good idea to do background checks on navigators?
I believe that all individuals should be vetted.
Good idea, bad idea?
Prior to access to the information that they provided.
Good idea, bad idea?
I'm not trying to evade, sir. I believe that all individuals should be vetted
I'm not
prior
going to
to
answer.
access.
Ms. Correa, my time, I was mayor for quite some time, and I remember one individual, he was in the country illegally. It took our detectives 5 hours to determine who he was. He had 5 Social Security cards, 5 different identities. You suggested a little earlier that illegal immigrants won't try to go through the system, and because you're using the SAVE system. I'm going to disagree with you. That's simply not true. We know for a fact. Is the SAVE system used for the SNAP program? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of. And sir, may I clarify? I wasn't trying to imply that an illegal alien wouldn't try. What I was trying to make clear was that they would have to have some form of documentation.
Do you think that they can get through the system?
It's hard to say. It would depend on the documentation that they present.
Well, we know for a fact that illegal immigrants are able to access many federal benefits through fraud, fraudulent documentations. We know that for a fact. That's so I don't believe this government program will really be any different. There's nothing that indicates that it will. So if you determine an applicant is in the country illegally, am I correct? There is no enforcement action taken?
The SAVE program isn't making a determination whether that individual is here illegally or not. What the SAVE program is doing is, based on the information that's presented to us, we are going out and checking the federal.
Well, it does tell if they're a lawful citizen.
Whether they're here as.
Right. So you determine that this individual is not lawfully here. There's no enforcement action taken?
As I explained earlier, the determination that we make is whether we can confirm that individual's immigration status and provide that information.
Okay, so you determine that individual status, that person is not legally present in the United States. Is there any enforcement action taken?
We don't determine whether the person is here legally or not, because we're not seeing the individual. All we're seeing is the information that comes through the query.
So if the information that is presented is fraudulent, what happens?
We don't have a way of determining if that information is fraudulent as it is presented.
So it doesn't seem like there's really any guard for illegal immigrants to access this program as they've been able to access many government programs. We know there's fraud in so many government programs. How can we assure the American people that this time we got it? This time we're not going to let people illegally get into a program that they're not rightfully entitled to.
Sir, if I may explain, and I appreciate your question. The benefit granting agency is the organization that is receiving the information from the individual and is privy to that information. They submit a query to us. What we go back and confirm is
But if the information is fraudulent?
What we do is, the only way we could ever determine that is if somebody actually sees the documents and compares them to the individuals. And that's why, if we cannot confirm immigration status, we do ask them to set up an appointment, to refer the individual.
I'm not
to a
real
USCIS
confident that
office.
we're going to be able to stop it. I just want to close, Mr. Chairman. I'm a huge baseball fan, and now that the Affordable Care Act has been rolled out, we find that the website doesn't work, that Americans' personal information is at risk, that felons could be navigators, and this is only the first inning. The Obamacare batting average is not so good. And if the Affordable Care Act was a baseball player and I was the manager, I would bench him. Thank you.